All right, welcome to Bloom in Full Color, where we live life in high definition. Jennifer Moss, I got PJ McGuire and Adam Thompson. We are rocking on a Tuesday when this drops. That's right. Okay, so we're all living in holiday bliss or hell. Your decision. I'm going to leave that there.
Personal decision.
Personal decision. Well, okay, so not everybody loves the holidays, and a lot of people look forward to the holidays. Right. I'm kind of camp whatever's going on in my life, but one thing that I think is pretty freaking cool is the solstice. So we're going to talk about winter solstice. Fact, this guy's birthday is winter solstice.
Oh, I knew you were going to call it out.
Yeah. So
He's trying to keep that secret.
Yeah,
from
he's
everyone.
trying not to tell anybody, guys. So
I got shafted the most on my birthday because it's the shortest day of the year.
which means it's the longest night.
So is that
too.
the 22nd?
I know
As
that
you get
part.
older, that's okay.
Yeah, it is the
But
longest night.
It's the longest night. So
Count my blessings.
what is the solstice? Let's start there.
It's the shortest day of the year. I can't remember all the
The
astronomy of it,
That's all right.
but essentially the sun is at its lowest angle in the sky at this point, especially then that's significant
In
up
northern
here at our
hemisphere, yep,
latitude.
yep.
And then the day length is the shortest. So like you said, the night is the longest. When I was living in Colorado, the day length, because the sun sets into the mountains like a little prematurely, the day length was like, I swear, like 5-6 hours long. But you know,
it almost is, because like right now you're driving to work in the dark and you go home in the dark almost.
yeah, and that's a buzzkill for everybody. So take your vitamin D. That will help you.
Well, technically, anybody above like Las Vegas should take vitamin D on a regular, because we do not have enough.
Because of the latitude.
Yeah, well, just because, where we're at latitude.
Yeah, it's like
latitudinally.
if you don't hang
I
out
don't think
naked
that's a
in the
word.
sun for 6 hours a day or more north of Vegas, you're supposed to be taking vitamin D.
Correct.
Yep.
Absolutely. I have vitamin D already built into my regiment.
Nice.
So,
Well,
like,
I'm gonna start thinking about maybe wanting to take some of that one.
You're
day.
you're so young, you don't care. You have to feel crappy for a little while, like old people, and then you go,
Yeah.
"Where's my vitamin?" Like, just wait.
you don't have a
Just
whole
wait.
fistful of pills you have to take in the morning of supplements?
No, I have Coke for.
Real Coke
Coca-Cola,
from Mexico.
just so that we're talking about that.
Oh my
For
goodness.
those who are listening, he has a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Yes, this is
that
not a
he
paid
is drinking.
sponsorship either. They didn't ask me to do
No,
this.
we are not
Mexico,
sponsored.
not Brazil,
Yes,
or
the,
Colombia.
the
Colombia.
cane
Yeah,
sugar
sorry.
business.
Okay, back on
Back to
task.
solstice.
Back to solstice.
Back to solstice, squirrel. So if you are thinking of it in terms of agriculture, because that's why the equinoxes and the solstices are important, was because of like pre-industrial ag.
Right.
Like these were their days of
Those
the year
were the
that they
measurements.
could start planning everything, and it was consistent. So the spring solstice or equinox is like typically planting time. The summer solstice is kind of like ease off, ease the water, get ready for harvest. Fall equinox being harvest, and then winter solstice being essentially reset.
Right.
And then also, I mean, they weren't greenhousing back in these days I'm talking about, but this is a great time of year for greenhousers, because this is when, especially for us, is what it feels like this week, we go into full production mode, because this is when the days are actually starting to get longer and plants require longer daylight to do their thing. So, I mean, that's it in a nutshell as far as I know.
It had to do with the mating of animals too, and monitoring the mating of animals and livestock, because they had to keep them over through the winter, and so livestock were slaughtered so you would not have to feed them during the winter. So, but
Makes
then you
sense.
could
When
also
you run out
freeze
of
the
food.
meat too,
Totally.
so that they could store things, and so it helped with their food cycle and their storage that way, and that also helped them have enough meat to get through the winter as well. And they also make reference to remembering that like we're in the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere at this point, it is during winter solstice, is summer solstice.
Yep.
It's their longest day.
Yep.
So it just means that our winter pole, like our North Pole, is the furthest away tilted from the sun.
Okay.
That's the
That's
technical
what I was trying
science
to
of it.
remember. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
I
the
cannot
technical
remember how
science of
that
it.
works.
Yes, thank you, Wikipedia. Kind
Did
of
that
handy.
pretty quickly.
Internet never lies.
Yeah,
Some
well,
podcast
I'm
research.
doing what I can.
Yeah.
What a year this week has been.
Yeah.
So we're there.
I also know that like the old, kind of those holidays this was like the time of renewal. This was like essentially
100%.
New Year's was like,
Yes.
okay, we're starting over. Let's just slough off all that trauma we went through together. And
it is supposed to be a
fresh
pause
page, you know? So that's where you get, a lot of the stuff that we see in the Christmas culture. The evergreens were like the symbol of the solstice because they're green forever. And that sense of renewal, I guess. But yeah, that's my solstice rant. I always thought it was cool to have the shortest day of the year because I, in my 20s used to like to be out in the night.
In the evening, you're a
But
night creature.
now that I'm old, I go to bed pretty much with the sun, like right after work.
You're like, oh, it's bedtime. It's dark out.
Yeah. God, I wish I could live like that too. Just like wake
Actually
up with the sun
follow.
and go to bed with the sun. Because I just get in hibernation mode myself. Maybe because I'm vitamin D deficient.
Possibly.
But I just want to sleep for like 12 hours a night, like a bear. I just want to hibernate. I want to be done with like civilization for this month, especially with the holiday biz.
Holidays are, I don't know. Holidays aren't bad in our household, so it's not that scary. But
it's a tough time of year for a lot of people, though. It's
it is,
like,
and I recognize that.
Suicide skyrocket this time, mental health.
Well, and you think of the people
skyrocket.
that are just like they don't have family, they live alone.
Yeah.
Like, what do they do?
Yeah.
So those are the people to reach out, include them. But
Hell
like,
yeah.
there's another celebration that's built around the winter solstice, and it comes from kind of Germanic colonies and the pagan, and that's the Yule celebration.
Yeah.
So Yule is a big part of winter solstice too, and Yule's kind of cool, but a lot of people, because it's pagan, tie it back to witchcraft and all that, which whatever. If we weren't in such a heavily religious area, it wouldn't be polarized quite like it would be in a big city, but it's the makeup for our community. I get that. And people are scared of what they don't understand. And
Very
that's all
much.
that is.
Well, that's why witchcraft was a thing anyway, because half those people were just scientists. You know?
Alchemists.
Just understood physics in a different way than
and they understood
or
plants
herbs or-
and
yeah,
medicinal
exactly.
properties. That's it.
And
Pay attention to the
Like,
changing of the
oh my
weather.
God, your child can't sleep. I'm going to give you a lavender salve to rub on their, like under their nose. They breathe in air on their chest. Oh my God, my child can sleep. Oh my God, that witch did something terrible to you. It's like, no.
Burn them at the stake.
Like, oh my
my
God.
kid never slept deep in my life. Kill her now.
Like, oh my God. So it's fear over facts. So we just got to make sure that we're doing our best job. But Yule can be kind of cool. And there's like a whole bunch of power in cinnamon and burning on a Yule log. And like you can do all these rituals around simmer pots with anise and cinnamon and I think orange and mulled wine.
Interesting.
Oranges. And you can like get that simmer pot going. Your entire house is going to smell like the holidays
Like
so
chai
fast.
tea.
I
Yeah.
bet you those
Evergreen
connections are
chai.
way deep. Like I
They're way
automatically
deeper.
associate cinnamon with this time of year. I bet you that goes way deeper than
It
stupid
totally does.
Betty Crocker recipes. You know what I'm saying? I bet you
Yeah.
that was something very important to those people a couple thousand years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? Interesting. Yeah.
Well,
And this might have been when the cinnamon was landing in the States,
Sure,
you know?
or something.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Interesting.
probably
I
deeper
was-
than we think.
Literally in our local crystal shop over in downtown Twin a couple days ago, and like they had a whole bunch of Yule stuff, and it was just really neat.
It's coming back.
There.
Right? I feel like it's becoming
Well,
more
it's
of a thing.
becoming more
I never heard it.
prevalent around here.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
would say. I think it's always been prevalent in certain communities.
Right.
I think
Sure.
that there's just more because we have so much digital connection in today's day and age. It's a lot more visible
And
for the
isn't it-
rest of us.
It's very associated with the northern culture. So I'm thinking like Iceland and the Vikings and like
Germanic
that's
colonies
yeah, there
start
you
there.
go.
So all
Very
the
northern
Scandinavian,
European.
yeah, all the Scandinavian colonies kind of like originate in the Germanic colonies, right? So they're all
Right.
overlapped because that's where my heritage is from. So I've kind of looked into this, and so I'm like 37% Germanic colonies, like 30 something English, and then I've got Norwegian specific, and then Scandinavian in there, and I have like this much Spanish and Hungarian for some reason, which I don't even know how those mutts got in there, but like
Somebody was well traveled.
exactly somebody was doing
Always
something.
one in the woodpile.
I had the dark lady in my
Grandpa.
genetics. I don't know. Clearly, I did not. If you look at me, but I'm white as the day is long on the shortest day that we're talking about. But,
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm having that existential crisis in the mirror at this time of year.
Yeah, you start to get
are
pale.
white.
Somebody turn the light off. It's dark in here
God,
right now.
I had
Put your
one,
shirt back
one
on.
dot on my face, and I was like, "Yeah, what is going on?" And it's just a dry patch, and it's like, why does that just jump off my face? It's like the teenage girl with the zit right on her forehead the day she's gonna go to
Always
prom.
on pictures day.
Like I felt like that this morning in the mirror.
Oh, well, you didn't
It's
look
fine.
like that this morning. You look fine.
I'm faking it. Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So yeah, like the thing about solstice is it's the closing of the year.
Right. This is supposed to be a time for
Rest.
reflection, rest, planning, right? It is supposed to be sort of an out with
Recharge.
the old,
Like
in with the new type of.
hibernation is the right word.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
think like a bear. It is time to go to sleep for a
Right.
little while.
Yeah.
So
Especially because the days from December 24th to January 2nd don't exist technically.
nope, not really.
They're invisible. They can't be documented. No one knows where they go.
Nothing productive happens
And I feel
between
so
those
bad for
days.
all of my friends that have
Except
birthdays in that.
drinking and
Yeah.
maybe hangovers. Yeah, because birthdays in that I know a lady named Holly who is born on Christmas. I have a buddy who has his birthday on New Year's, and he just kind of gets lost every year.
Oh, getting
Yeah.
screwed
Yeah.
for real. Like my
Well,
wife.
think about Christmas gifts.
Oh no, you're not. Yeah, you're not getting
Yeah.
any birthday. But here's a pair of socks for your birthday, and then a
Oh,
couple
here's your Christmas present. Or here's your birthday present, and here's a pair of socks for Christmas.
I have somebody who had a kid like that, and they just decided they were going to celebrate his birthday in July. So
Yeah.
he was born in December.
It's a very
24th.
unbirthday.
I think
The
it was a
Mad
brilliant
Hatter
because
was
as a kid
involved-
you're going to get screwed
involved.
every day, every year, your whole life, right?
Yeah.
If you're born like around your birthday,
I begged my parents to let me celebrate my birthday
they
in the
weren't into
summer.
it.
Because you know what I got to do? Sometimes there were ski trips if there was snow. Because like this is kind of sketchy around here. It's not reliable.
Too
everywhere.
early, yeah,
Well,
But
usually we've had snow by now.
yeah, or
Yeah.
some moisture.
Yeah. And
But-
it's just a weird year.
yeah, so the options for me on Solstice birthday in Idaho were bowling or the Lord of the Rings movies came out on the solstice.
you
Like
could
when I
watch
was
them?
that age. So yeah, we would always go see the Lord of the Rings in the theaters. And so I'm very bonded with that trilogy.
Nice.
But yeah, there was just jack shit to do on the winter solstice. But I get a lot of questions about like the being close to Christmas, if I felt like I got shafted with birthday presents and stuff. And no, I didn't. I
Because you're a
can't-
full week
I can't play that
before, right?
violin. Huh?
Ish, you're a full week before Christmas or ish?
4 days. It's
Oh,
the
oh.
21st.
Okay.
But yeah, my
Wait.
parents were clever. They would give me big presents because they could justify it because it was like a birthday and a Christmas.
There you
Oh,
go.
so
I
you
got
got
like a-
better presents.
I got like a nice point and shoot camera like a couple years because that's what I was super into, or like a bike, big ticket items.
Nice.
So
All
we'll
right.
talk more about that in the next podcast.
They do call it the birth of the sun. And it's when the sun is the lowest in the sky.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So you can actually reach it in
In
theory.
Idaho, at this point in the year, the sun is only 23 degrees in the
Above the
sky
horizon,
from
yep.
ground level.
Yep.
And I know that because if you're a year-round greenhouse grower, you can use some pretty simple trigonometry to figure out that the shadow that your greenhouse casts, like how far away that goes, so that you can plan where your next greenhouse starts. So there's zero shade.
Oh.
Right. And you can use that.
That matters.
There's a lot of other like
Yes, it
uses
does.
of that. But yeah, that's why it's important. And I don't think people realize that the sun is literally
No,
that low.
people. I had an argument with somebody that didn't realize the sun is at a different angle in the year. I'm not
Yeah.
exact. Like I had to
They just
explain to
didn't know.
them. Right, they just never put
They
two and
just
together.
don't know.
You realize, middle of summer, you're looking straight up. Middle of
Yeah.
winter, it's over yonder. They're like, oh, I never really thought about that. So
Oh, I just thought of a way to tie this into plants because
Okay,
that's what we
let's
do.
hear it.
So that specifically, I was worried. I was like,
That's
I don't
all
know.
right.
What
I
we're
was
gonna...
just checking the rest of my facts to make sure that we
That
haven't forgotten
specifically
anything.
is why it's important to decrease watering on your houseplants because they are not getting the amount of light that they used to.
right, even if they're sitting in the same spot,
Even if
they're
it's in a bright south-facing window,
Sure.
that light is directional and it's not
Mhm.
overhead. And plants are grown to take light overhead.
reflection of light is not.
So you
the
get a
same
lot of
load.
leaning, and
Mhm.
this is a
Stretching.
good time to rotate your house plants too, so that they lean the other way towards the window and kind of balance out. But I try to explain that to people, like your plant is not photosynthesizing barely at all. Like you can, if you're a once a week house plant water, you can get away with like once every 3 weeks at this point in the year.
Yeah,
So
you
I
absolutely can.
encourage laziness as always. That's my platform.
My
But
last fact.
Go ahead.
That's all right.
Go,
My
go.
last fact before we wrap this up In Norse mythology, Frigg, the queen of Aesir,
Love her.
is linked to winter solstice, and her presence during the winter solstice influences the length and the severity of the winter.
Okay.
So we just need to keep Frigg happy.
Keep Frigg out of our
But
greenhouse.
Build her an altar.
knowing Frigg, she's probably has little different needs than your regular bougie bitch.
So when I make my prayers to the garden gods, it's literally
It's Frigg.
her.
You
her
and Frigg.
crew. Okay.
And
Good to know.
up till the 21st, I would.
And
do
then
that.
I'm cut off.
Well, no,
No
I think
more
after that, we
requests.
probably need to make sure that we're including the right nature gods and
Okay.
goddesses.
All
Fair?
right. Well,
Fair.
keep me posted. I knew you were going to bring Norse
'Kay.
mythology
like,
into this
it's
somehow.
totally-
How could
totally
you not?
She just told you her whole background.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming somewhere.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
coming
It's
somewhere.
good. I love it.
All right. Well, we encourage you to do something for winter solstice, whether it's take a long nap
Hibernate.
Sleep
or
that 12 hours,
do-
even though everyone doesn't want you to.
You want to
Yeah.
do something different? Go to somebody else's house and
And
get
have a
12
nap.
hours.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
creative.
Just to freak out your friends.
We're going to be a bad influence from this point forward. So with that, we invite you to subscribe on all platforms if you like what we're saying. And then we're going to head on to our next episode. We're going to be talking about the worst Christmas gifts we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
All right. We invite you guys to go live life in full color because plain is pretty boring. Thank you.